What's good, YouTube? Manipulation tactics, social engineering people, part 6. People will treat you how you allow them to, and most people will show you how they want to be treated and what they're willing to give to be treated that way. And most people, just humans in general at their core, want to give and receive in general, whether that be connection, some material shit, utility, goddamn, yeah, that's about it really. Or to be validated, really. That's the last one. But what you need to understand is most humans want to be used. Most humans want to use people, and they will tell you how to treat them. And that's what you need to watch for, so you can manipulate the situation and find out what the fuck they want to be used for, how they want to be treated, and how you manipulate the situation so you're not getting used entirely by them. And realistically, it's like they will treat you how you allow. So if you think that you're just like personable ass character, personality is enough to get you not used by people, then you are delusional or mistaken or very innocent, and I hope you don't find out the hard way. But pretty much, when I say people will show you how they want to be treated and people will treat you how you allow them to, is pretty much if you don't go into a relationship or just a connection trying to have the upper hand, just like mentally, then they're just gonna do what they want with you. And this can apply to like partners or friends or fucking, I don't want to say friends, because a real friend should be a genuine connection that I spoke about in other videos where that's the exception for this. But just like relationships, new relationships, people and whatnot, that's where you can find out how they want to be treated and what they're willing to give and how they're going to treat you. But if you don't do the dynamics that I've spoken about in other videos and me explaining now what you should watch out for or just be aware of, then you're just going to get taken for a ride that you didn't sign up for. And it's going to be because you just had good faith in this person and, you feel me, you just were being a little silly, because most people are going to take advantage of some shit if you just let them. And I got this idea because I saw a video where it's like women act how they to the man based on who the man is, and that is true, but it's not just women. Like, that's some like incel ass shit to say. It's literally every single fucking gender, every connection. That's just how it works. It's like when you're in school and whatnot, if the bully's gonna try you, right? And if you don't manipulate the situation to your benefit, whether that be physically, verbally, or whatnot, now you're just about to get bullied the rest of your fucking school year, bro. And nobody wants that, right? And so once you get out of schooling and bullying like that doesn't exist it's so plainly, like just so obviously, people are gonna do that shit and make you useful when that's not even your goal. Maybe you're just trying to gain a connection or gain a friend or some shit, but you're just gonna get taken for a ride if you're not aware of the fact that people will treat you how you allow them. And if you go into a new relationship just all willy-nilly and just going with the flow and not doing things, I don't want to say faking kindness, but it's just manipulating the situation, like being somebody who's willing to not scoff at their wild remarks, being somebody who shows interest even though you actually don't give a fuck, being somebody who lets them react, being somebody who intentionally acts like they forgot the standards that this person set upon themselves, then you're now putting yourself in a position to be critiqued back, to be fucking, just to be, I don't want to say walked on, be walked in on, just as you are walking in on this person, because you actually have no right to do that to somebody, to do the opposite of all those things. Realistically, like, you have no right to correct somebody, you have no right to scoff at somebody, you have no right to try to hold somebody accountable who's not your responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Especially, these are new connections where the manipulation needs to take place, because if it's just an old connection that you've had or a existing connection that you've had, and then you try to do this shit, then you're gonna start seeming weird because they'll be able to tell that you're not genuine. And it only works out if you come off as manipulating the situation with these genuine habits, and then they can tell no difference. But if you're doing this with an existing connection, and if you're not that socially aware and you don't have enough fucking emotional intelligence and whatnot, the person is probably just gonna stray away from you rather than fall into these tactics that I've been saying. Like, how can you just fucking be talking to somebody and you constantly hold them, remember what they say, hold them accountable, and then at some point you just stop doing that, or start doing it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever your relationship is with this person is gonna be too obvious. So this really applies to more new relationships, so you can just avoid how you might have felt in previous relationships. And then when I say people will show you how they want to be treated, it's the same end of the stick as people would treat you how you allow them. You know what I'm saying? Like, if the bully tries to come up to you and you don't do anything, then you're showing him that you're down to get treated like that, right? And so it's the same thing with this manipulation shit. If you don't go into it trying to get some sort of insight by the tactics I've said so far, and that I'll continue to explain through further episodes, then you're just at free will of this person. You're at their mercy, goddamn. Like, you're just participating in some shit that they're willing to take the links to, that you're not putting any habits or tactics in place to prevent you being in the weaker position. And ultimately, like I said, most people just use people to feel something or gain something or fucking actually get something. And so you need to find out what you're there for. Like, are you there because this person wants to be validated? Are you there because this person eventually wants to ask you for some shit? Is this person being nice to you so then they can ask you to take their shifts from work? You know what I'm saying? Is this person being nice to you so then they can ask you for a ride home? You know what I'm saying? But if you do that, if you do the tactics I've mentioned, then you can stay one step ahead of this shit. Like, it's like, imagine somebody just being nice to you at work, right? And you think, wow, this is actually just a genuine person. And then ultimately, they're trying to ask you for a ride or cover a shift last minute. And then when you don't do that, they get upset. Because you've been you haven't been trying to gain any leverage through manipulation or social skills or social interaction or any shit, right? And now they get mad at you. You know what I'm saying? That's like they were clearly trying to use you for something. Versus if you use the tactics that I've set in place, like don't hold people accountable, let them exist as they want to, forget things on purpose but keep account of them. You know what I'm saying? Don't scoff at people, ask them a lot of questions of fake interest. Now they believe that you're a compassionate and kind person, and they'll probably feel bad about doing that to you. You know what I'm saying? And some people could say, oh, you should feel bad about how you're manipulating the situation with the person. But how the fuck, if you didn't, then this person would have just got upset at you or stopped being as nice to you because you didn't take their shift, and that's really what they wanted. You know what I'm saying? They wanted a backup plan. Or it's like the example with the people saying that women will treat the man how, depending on who the man is, right? Like, if you just go all out for this person, and you can apply this to like non-romantic relationships, but this is just a good example, and it's a video that I saw that just kind of inspired me, I guess, of this thought. But let's say, right, you're starting to fuck with a girl, and from the jump, you just go all out. You just do everything for her, right? You're doing the most, bro. You're just buying her you're buying this bitch flowers all the time. You're goddamn opening all her doors. You're goddamn trying to be her captain hero. Now, you're showing her how you want to be treated. You want to be treated as a hero or some shit. You know what I'm saying? So now when she starts asking for more shit or starts taking advantage of that, you know what I'm saying? Now it reveals that what her intention of use was. But it was really because of the way you interacted off the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Versus if you just let these people flow in their own rhythms and just keep account of what the fuck's going on. Because if not, if you're not like mindful and try to manipulate it from the beginning and just have a vantage point really and gain some emotional real estate, they're not gonna feel bad at all for how they decide to just use you for whatever that is. Like I said, it could be validation, emotional shit, connection, use, actually material shit. If you don't do these things, these tactics in place, you're just gonna get taken for a ride because you're not even being conscious of how you're being perceived by the other person. And that's really what this manipulation shit is. Like I said in the past video, and I think part 5 or 4, it's like you're not showing them how you want to be treated. You're just treating them how you think they want to be treated. You know what I'm saying? And if that's what you're willing to give to get connection, then you're already just dug yourself a hole. And now you're just about to taken advantage of, because if you're willing to just give all of yourself for connection or validation, then you're not manipulating shit. You're just getting taken advantage of by the other party. And they probably could be manipulating you if you're not mindful of this shit and you don't do the shit I said. Because it really is like you're kind of like, I don't want to say fooling them, because it really just is social awareness and social skills to know how to navigate and not get fucked over. But it's like, if you don't do these things to kind of get a feel for this person and just let them be who they are and observe them and see if you even want to participate in that, or if you want to manipulate the situation so you're not getting taken advantage of, then they're just going to decide what to do with you ultimately. You know what I'm saying? Like I just said, like if you just meet somebody and you're going all out for this person, you know what I'm saying, you think this is the love of your life, this is gonna be your best friend ever, like shit like that. It's like, and you're not doing checks and measures to kind of read their personality, or you're not even letting them free flow, or you're just trying to hold them accountable all the time. It's like, and not even, like holding people accountable, it just shows you weakness, because it shows that you're not willing to step away from some shit. And it shows that you're willing to put up with their shit as long as they fix it. You know what I'm saying? But like, what is that? What the fuck even is that? Because realistically, you can't change people. And I've said that in another video. It doesn't matter what you do or how you treat people. They're going to do what they do. So why would you not just manipulate the situation from the beginning so you can have better insight and you can damn near demand how you want to be treated? And by doing the things I said, like forgetting on purpose, not holding them accountable, you know what I'm saying? Fucking trying to gain trust through asking them about themselves, like making them feel good, rewarding their selfishness, then you're just setting yourself up that you just want to be taken advantage of. And like when I said putting up this front, it's not putting up a front or lying about being kind, but it's just doing as a human should do to another, because it should be mutual. But doing this gives you kind of like a lead step in front of them, to where if they do some shit that's not genuinely kind, because odds are if they can be manipulated, they're not like smart enough to think of what you're actually doing, then you're just gonna get taken advantage of, because you're not doing shit to set like the premise of this. Like if you know what I'm saying? And it's not like I said, it's not like you're being fake kind, but it's like you're just setting the premise of this relationship and what it should be, but you're also trying to gain insight of this person and see what the fuck, like, what do they care about? What do they react to? What are their brash opinions? And then you can dictate, like, what is this person trying to gain? You know what I'm saying? By what they share, what you don't try to hold them accountable for. You know what I'm saying? And ultimately they think you're this kind, understanding person, but really you're just gaining insight as to where you line up in this and how you can use it to your advantage, honestly. Not take advantage, but use your position and the setup with these tactics to how you can be at an advantage, so you don't just get taken advantage of. And ultimately, like, all this shit is just reading people and setting like a premise of how of like not how you want to be treated, but preventing them from doing something maliciously without it being uncalled for, or without you not being able to see it coming. Because if you just do this shit, like I said, like don't hold people accountable, forget things like standards they set them themselves. Because it's like, when I say that, it's like, okay, let's say somebody's like, oh, I never do this, and then they do that shit, and then you're like, yo, didn't you, like, that's not right, or some shit. What you gain from that is a possibility of this shit ending, and then you can't even manipulate the situation to your advantage anymore, and whatever this person had for you that you wanted to gain, you have no chance of that shit no more. You know what I'm saying? Versus if you just let it slide by, or act like you're not keeping count, or have some sort of database about them, then it just reveals something about them. You know what I'm saying? And they know that they went back on their word. But if you don't hold them to it, they have to now move with you, interact with you in a way where like it's in their subconscious that they're not doing exactly as they say. So they have to do more of what they say from then on. Otherwise, they're just gonna look like a fucking dishonest, like fucking just lousy person. And that's really what just people just care about, is how they appear. You know what I'm saying? That's why all this shit works so well. And because people just want to feel important, seen, heard, and whatnot. So when they're just like fucking up, they know, bro. And that's why you're just supposed to let them live with it. That's what I mean really when I say don't hold people accountable and act like you forget. Because they didn't forget, bro. They did not forget. And fucking, like the thing where I said gaining trust, like by asking them questions about themselves, not only do you learn more about this person, but you also get put in a different category because you're not treating them the same as other people. You know what I'm saying? And so it kind of puts on this, like, it's not a front really, but it's like you're just being aware of how you're being perceived, and it puts you one step ahead, and you could just see shit coming. And this person has like this subconscious, or like almost, I don't want to say guilt, because they probably don't feel guilty, but they have this subconscious like thought of how they should be around you, and because of how much, you know what I'm saying, you let slide, how much you didn't, you know what I'm saying, they're like, oh, this person's so understanding, kind, like I'm not gonna treat them as crazy as this, or do them, I would feel bad doing this to them. When really you've just been manipulating the whole situation, or using social awareness realistically, or just collecting a database of about how like they move actually. You know what I'm saying? And really, like, that's why I think the gaining trust shit by asking them about themselves is really one of the best tactics, because you really just gain insight, and it puts you in a different position than most people are put to these people. And then now you're at advantage, because they feel about you differently, because they got asked about, you got them to feel a certain way, but really you're just collecting data. And also, like I said, you're just really doing what people should do to each other. It's like kindness, but really just social awareness. And it kind of builds like a shell of armor that they put onto you because of how you're treating them. You know what I'm saying? And then so, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? And the whole time, you're just learning about them more, and seeing where their concern lies, seeing where, you know what I'm saying, where they fall as a person. And in that, you also find out what they're willing to give for what they're willing to gain. And then once you find out what they're willing to gain, or what they're willing to give, and how they want to be treated for what they want to gain, that's where you find your pocket, and you build the structure around that. And now you won't be taken advantage of, because from the start of this new relationship, you've been trying to figure out this person through like sincerity. And I put quotes in it because it is sincere, in the sense, if they don't know what the fuck's going on, but you're not really being sincere because you're just trying to keep yourself safe, or you're trying to just not be taken advantage of, is what I'm saying. But yeah, I probably just rambled on that. But really, like I said, People will show you how they want to be treated. You will show people how you want to be treated. If you don't try to use social awareness or social engineering or manipulation, whatever the fuck y'all want to call it, based on your perspective of it, then you will just be taken advantage of. And this person will show you what they want, but they won't show you what they're willing to give, because you're not setting a premise on how you should be treated. You're just letting them treat you how they would treat you. Versus if you do these tactics that we speak about, then you're gaining insight on how they want to be treated, what they want, like what they, you know what I'm saying? If that doesn't make sense, just say something in the comments. But I swear, like, that was probably the most cohesive video I've made out of all this shit before. But yeah, bro. Part 6, you know I'm getting a thumbnail now. Yeah. Social engineering, manipulation tactics, part 6, bro. Appreciate y'all for real. Make sure y'all drop comments of what else y'all want to know. You know I'm getting thumbnail. Make sure you drop comments of what else you want to know. What doesn't make sense, what does make sense. And yeah, put notifications on, bro. All types of shit. We back. Part 7 soon, bro. Keep yourself safe, bro.